Hey everyone, we are going to review similar figures. So what we decided to do was give you a couple of problems that are similar to what we see on STAR. So this says triangle ABC and triangle DEF are similar. Now the order of these letters, remember, is important. A corresponds with D. B corresponds with E. So for instance, the angle A matches angle D. Angle A matches angle D. Okay? Remember CCA, corresponding congruent angles. Similar figures have corresponding congruent angles. Okay, so this one says, which proportion must be true? So I'm kind of just going to glance here and see some of the letters. I need a starting point. So I see EF on two of these, okay? So I'm going to mark EF. I'm going to change this a little. I might use some sort of marker to mark these. So EF. No, so EF is going to be the same as BC. Okay, EF, when I say, is the same as, it corresponds to BC. These two have to either have a side-by-side or an up and down relationship. If you see BC and EF, if they are this way or this way, literally it makes it's wrong, okay? So let's look here. So I have BC with EF, EF, BC, okay? So this one is a maybe. I don't see EF with BC. See that? How it's crossways, diagonal? That one cannot be right. So if nothing else, you know it's not D. You've limited your answer choices, okay? So now let's do AB. I see AB on these two, okay? So I'm going to use a different color, guys. Use a marker, use a different color. So AB will match DE. First two, go with first two. AB corresponds with DE. We can tell that, right? Because it's the shortest side. So again, that means AB and ED, they either have to be side by side or up and down. That's where the relationship has to be. We have to get into the mind of the people who make these, okay? AB and ED. They cannot be diagonal from each other, okay? So AB, ED. So AB, DE. This is a maybe. AB, DE. That one doesn't work. That's diagonal, okay? This one was wrong because BC and FE were diagonal. So those, we can't do it. Those two numbers or those two segments have to either have a top, bottom, or side-by-side relationship, okay? So we're going to try one more thing, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll get a little bit more specifically into these, okay? So we already checked the top. So we said EF goes with BC. So that means DF and AC would have to go together, okay? DF and AC. So let's look. DF and AC. So I'm not going to choose it. I'm not going to choose it yet, but we're going to talk about it, okay? So this one's a maybe. And I'm going to do the other one, which says DE and DF. DE, DE, and DF. Those will not go together, okay? Those will not go together. Okay, so let's look at these. Those are on the same shape. Okay, so I'm just going to double check this. AB with DE. AB with DE. Okay, that means we're going this way. Okay, AB on one of them, DE on the other one. That means they're doing a like top bottom. Okay, which means BC, DF, BC, DF, BC, and then DF. Notice those will not correspond. Okay, those are not going to go together. So this one is wrong. So the one that works is the first one, EF, BC. I'm going to erase this line. EF, BC, EF, EFBC, that goes this way, EFBC, and then DFAC, DFAC also goes this way, DFAC, okay? Just double checking. So it takes time, okay? But my suggestion is look to get rid of the ones that, if you can tell that it's diagonal, we're going to get rid of those. So we're going to practice one more. And that's this one, okay? Now this one, we have all sorts of numbers. So we have to figure out which one to use. I'm trying to see, I see a 2.4, a 2.4, a 2.4. At least 3 of these have 2.4. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2.4. Now, if you're my student, y'all know if we're trying to find the missing side, I usually say small to big, right? So, 2.4, which is BC. One thing y'all need to be able to see is up at the very tip top here. I'm going to move this. So 2.4 is BC. You see how those are the two middle numbers? That means it has to go with these two middle numbers, which are FG. Okay? BC and FG. I'm going to mark it first. BC, FG. You can kind of tell looks like the shortest side. Okay? So that means 2.6 and 3.4. I'm sorry, I think I said that wrong. 2.4 and 3.2. 2.4 and 3.2. They either have to be up and down, 2.4 with 3.2. Either way, it doesn't matter which is which, or side by side. Okay? It cannot be diagonal. If you see 2.4 with 3.2 diagonally, that's going to be incorrect. Okay? So let's look. 2.4 with 3.2, that's a maybe. 2.4, look, they're diagonal. That's wrong. And then 2.4 with 3.2, so this is one's a maybe. Okay? So we got rid of one of these. Okay? So I also see, I'm just kind of randomly looking at these guys. I also see, let's do the 4. I see a 4 here and a 4 here. Okay? So let me switch colors. It doesn't matter, again, where we start, just 4 is FE. Okay, so FE, that is these two, the first two. So FE has to match with the first two, BA. FE, BA. Okay? FE, BA. Okay, so that means I have 4 and 3. So that means 4 and 3. I can have a top-bottom relationship or a side-by-side relationship, but it cannot go this way. 4 and 3 cannot go that way. Okay? Well, look at the first one. 4 and 3. I'm looking to make sure I don't have another 3 there. That cannot be correct. Okay? 4 and 3 here. This is a maybe. And then here, I don't see a 4 with a 3. Okay? So this is what you're doing. Okay? So what I want you to do now is you are going to determine, I want you to look at letter D, see if we can either A, get rid of it, or B, if we can go back and evaluate these a little bit closer, making sure that these are in the right order. Numbers on the left, numbers on the right.